You're listening to the Purdy Girl Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Kelly Purdy. My mission is to connect military spouses, fiancés, girlfriends, and booty calls worldwide. So let's do this. Well, another Wednesday, another solo episode. I am recording this a tad early for you all because, I just feel like I'm going to have this baby any minute and I want to get the episodes out to you so I can just relax with baby girl. Also, my sister is flying in tonight and I know I'm just not going to want to record while she's here. So, here we are. It's 4 a.m. and I have totally procrastinated, but we are getting this done. Can I just say, it's really freaking weird to think about life after I have this baby. For 31 years, I have run this show, and now someone else is going to run this show. Someone else is going to be in charge. Someone else is going to be telling me what to do. I know it's going to be a major shift, but I think I'm ready for it. I know people say, oh, you're never ready. But I disagree. I totally disagree. I've done all I can to be as ready as possible for this baby. I think back to like my early 20s, my mid 20s, I was not ready. I was not ready financially. I was not ready emotionally, even physically. Like I was still, working through a lot of body dysmorphia and food issues that it just wouldn't have been the best for me or the baby or Bennett in that moment to have a baby. I knew back then I wasn't ready. And so we waited. And I'm really glad that we did. I never wanted to feel that like weird pressure into having a baby. I don't understand that. I don't understand why people let that consume them. It just would be so toxic. I remember talking to a friend before I got pregnant, and we were talking about how I was thinking about growing our family and that we were going to start trying. And she was like, you don't have to have a baby, right? And I just looked at her and I'm like, yeah, I know that. Do you know that? Well, she's like, okay, I just had to say that because no one told me, and no one told me that I didn't have to have a baby, and I just felt like all this pressure and I had to start having kids. I was like, dang. Like I cannot imagine living my life for other people's approval like that, especially when it comes to bringing kids into the world. Like this is your freaking life. Don't live for other people. It just blows my mind. This decision has been between me and my husband, and that's it. And it feels so right. And we are beyond excited to bring this little, teeny tiny little girl home. So, with that being said, I want to jump into this little quickie for today and talk about 5 things I do to feel better. Just on any given day. If I'm just like kind of feeling blah or want to feel better, just up my vibration, just like 5 things I do to feel better. So, a lot of times I hear or read things like this and I'm just like, yeah, easier said than done. You know what I mean? And like, that's so true. A lot of times, these little tips and tricks are all things we've heard before and we've heard it all and read it all. So, like, why do we still need reminders? It's kind of the same with losing weight. We know how to lose weight. We know we need to, burn more calories than we consume, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's actually doing it. It's actually being disciplined and determined enough to put the action behind the words. So, what I thought I could do today is give you my 5 things with an action plan behind it. Okay. First thing, believe it or not, I write. You knew that was coming. I journal. We know this. If I was like brand new to writing and I wanted to start incorporating it into my daily routine, here's what I would do. Okay, I would go to Target. I would pick out a journal. And if you don't live near a Target, just maybe find one online that you love. And I would also get a really good pen. I know that sounds weird, but like nothing's better than a really good pen. I love a good pen. Then I would put the journal right next to my coffee maker. Okay, this is called habit stacking. And I learned it from James Clear from the book Atomic Habits. If you want to start a new habit, you have to stack it onto something you're already doing. So for me, I wake up and I pour a cup of coffee. If I've never written before, I'd wake up, pour my half calf with a splash of almond milk, and I would see the journal. That prompts me to be like, oh yeah, I want to start doing that. And then I would sit down, maybe even set a timer for just 5 minutes, something super, super doable. And I would write. I call it a mind dump. You just get out whatever thoughts you're having, put it to paper, leave it there, and move on with your day. And you can build on that if you want. I am writing these days probably for like an hour, not straight. Like I'll give myself some time. I just like really enjoy the situation. I'm like writing, I'm filling up my coffee, I'm warming up my coffee. I just really let myself indulge in that kind of morning. Obviously, that's going to change soon, but you just got to do what works for you. And I say 5 minutes at first if you're starting out, just because it is uncomfortable to start a new habit. So it's just something you can try and then build on it from there. So, the second thing that I do to improve my mood is I move my body for 30 minutes. For me, it is best to move my body first thing in the morning. And here's the thing, I know not everyone is a morning person, like a morning workout person. If you know you're an evening workout person, that's fine, just as long as we're moving. But moving and sweating is the best way to switch your mood. So, what do I do when I don't really feel like getting outside for a walk or a run or a lift? I make it as simple as possible. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's an office quote. But really, sometimes it takes some convincing in your own brain. And if you're down in the dumps, you need this the most. What's going to get you outside for a walk or a run or a lift or to the gym? Is it telling yourself you only have to do it for 10 minutes? Is it putting on your favorite music? Is it watching Real Housewives of New York while you're on the stair stepper? You have to make this happen. Moving my body improves my mood 95% of the time. So you have to consider doing this if you're feeling down. I know, easier said than done, but again, you just have to keep it super, super simple. So 3, I take a silent shower. This is super meditative to me. I like it nice and quiet as I take my time. As I take my shower, I take my time, I shave, I exfoliate, I wash my hair. It's the self-care part of it all that I think tells your subconscious that you matter and you're worth taking care of. I take my time with putting on lotions and oils afterwards. I'll do a fresh face of makeup and put on a comfortable outfit. I don't know about you, but I have never felt better about myself when I just neglect my image, neglect myself. And it's not about image, it's not about ego. Like it's just taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? No one feels better when you just aren't showering or you're not doing your makeup or you're not brushing your teeth. You know what I mean? It's just like those little things add up. I always feel better when I show up for myself and I tell myself I'm worth taking care of. And that's how you do that. So the fourth thing I do is I stay off social media. When I really am down, I just need a break. Social media is all consuming sometimes and it's such an energy sucker if I let it. So I'll try to stay off. If you're having a bad day and you're like me, it's just like most things on social kind of make it worse. It's almost like I'm looking for the negative or looking for something that's just not helpful. I just don't get it. So I will actually put my phone in another room and go do something productive. I'll listen to a book or I'll work on my craft. I make a promise to myself that I won't just scroll mindlessly. If I get on there, it will be to put out positivity only. You can't feed into the negative. You just can't. So you have to be really aware of that. So stay off social media. And the fifth one is my favorite. So I check in with my 5 senses. Okay, so let me explain. This can be done in either 5 minutes or it can take all day. So just depends on what you have going on. But the first thing is sight. Okay, what am I seeing? What am I looking at? Is there somewhere I could go that would help me to feel better in this moment? Maybe you're like me and you could go to the beach, or maybe you live in the PNW and you could drive to the mountains. Or maybe there's a favorite spot in your garden you could go. What could you look at that would bring you happiness? Maybe it's a picture. And if you're in your bedroom and you notice that it's messy, maybe you could just clean up your space a little bit. Make your bed, open the blinds, spray a little Febreze. I don't know. So, okay, the next thing is hearing. What are you listening to? What would you need to be listening to help you feel happiness? Maybe it's a favorite song or maybe a meditation. What are you touching? So the third sense is touch. The clothes that you're wearing, are they clean? Are you able to take a long soothing tub? If you have some time, maybe you could add some bath salts and maybe you could do a body scrub. Touch is big for me. Like if you have a significant other, you could ask for a little massage or even just a hug. I know that sounds super cheesy, but it really helps me. So I had to say it. Okay, so now what are you smelling? Smell is huge for me. I love a good candle or essential oils. I love burning sage or Palo Santo in my house. What are you smelling? Maybe you don't have anything like that. Well, hey, here's a chance to get out of the house and go find something from Home Goods that you like to smell. And the last thing is taste. What could you taste right now that is going to help you feel happiness? Remember, we're not eating to numb out our feelings. It isn't like that. Maybe it's making your favorite tea, or maybe it's treating yourself to a fancy schmancy coffee, or maybe it's making yourself a healthy meal is going to bless your body. Okay, so now imagine doing just one of these things or 2 of these things, 4 or 5, all at the same time. This is massive and it's doable. I feel like the more you can do at the same time, the better. And I really want you to give it a try next time you're feeling down. Just remember the 5 senses, okay? So just keep in mind today that you control how you're feeling in any situation. You can choose how you feel, okay? I hope this was helpful for you. I love you, and I will talk to you all next week. Thank you for listening to Purdy Girl Podcast. If you have a second, please rate and review and share this podcast with somebody you think would love it. See you next week.